Ho ho ho, fellow sim racers. How are you doing? Welcome again to a nice Wednesday stream, which is sort of missing my backup, if you'd say so.
Well, at least they can hear me.
Yeah, that's
hopefully.
good. Somehow he's gone to the Shadow Realm, I suppose.
Well, I got yeeted inadvertently before we've even gotten started. That's a great one for this stream.
Yeah, that's amazing, actually. Where are you? You should be there, but you are. Oh, that's a problem. OBS decided that you had to be very, very tiny now, which doesn't fly. Hang on. Slight technical different, as you might have been able to tell yet, or already, but we're working on it.
Yeah, and we have to say it's by the Grinch.
Get it together. There we go. That should make it a little bit better. Now we shall enter the.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, hopefully. We shall enter Mr. Goldschmidt. Where the hell? Dang it. Why doesn't it work? The hell is this? Somehow all my stuff has disappeared. That's nice. Can I get that back, please? Why can't I? I was about to say good preparation is everything, but in this case we had everything set up and it just doesn't work right now. Which is...
Well, yeah, of course OBS has just decided to shit its pants.
Basically, yeah. There he is.
Well, actually you can't see me waving because I have a hand on my phone.
I need to
crop
that, yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, sorry it's taken a little longer here. I don't know what happened, but apparently we are... OBS and I aren't that good friends anymore.
Bedfellows is definitely not the right term.
That's true. So there's that, and then we'll gonna...
I feel like I'm being pulled out of the Matrix and back into it again.
Yeah, I'm trying.
I don't know which way I'm going.
The Christmas Matrix, basically. Could you actually do the thing I asked you to? Dear keyboard. There we go. That looks a little bit better.
Well, yeah, the thing, yeah.
That's even better. And now let's see if we can... There we go.
There we go.
Neat. Now
for his next trick. I shall magically shrink. It's like, honey, I've shrunk the commentator.
Basically. So, now he's with me. Please welcome Alex Goldschmidt. Hello.
Hello.
Glad to have you on board, man.
And that people can actually bloody see me for a change.
Yeah, that's new. We didn't have that before. I don't even know why. I don't even know why I can properly speak English right now. But anyway.
Hey. Now, have you been having too much mulled wine from the Christmas markets?
Not yet, actually. So
right.
That can't be
it. Was it the Jaeger last night that you didn't tell anybody about?
It might have been. So I've prepared something else too.
But also, getting into the Christmas spirit, as you can see, we're both wearing our Santa hats.
As we should. And also, step aside, Synthwave, you're not needed right now. We have some nice little background Christmas music for you. How about that?
Yeah.
Nice. All right. So, to the point we're actually trying to get across, or actually, what we're gonna do. I've also, that's not the point, but I've only now noticed that I haven't showed you yet my naughty Christmas T-shirt featuring Plankton. Pretty nice.
Thank goodness it wasn't Bad Santa. Billy Bob Thornton.
Ass clown. Classic. All right, let's hop into what we're gonna do here. Actually, it's Project Cars 2 again for a change, and yeah, a snowy Nordschleife, and that's the reason why it's Project Cars 2 actually, because No title does snowy racetracks quite like Project Cars 2. I don't think any does, actually, except for the bespoke snow tracks anyway. So, that's what we're gonna do. We have our nice Group B Audi Quattro, I think S2. So, while we are actually trying and recapping our year a little bit, I'm also gonna try and not die in the snowy Eifel Mountains, which is probably gonna be interesting. Servus Maxi. Christmas time, he says. Indeed, my dude.
Yep, pause first.
And now we shall see if this is gonna work. Why is my shifter not working? Probably because it's not plugged in yet. Give me a gear. Come on.
Cable management has gone awry even before we've gotten properly started.
No, to be honest, it's probably because I played Need for Speed Underground Unbound before, and it turns out my PC doesn't like to recognize controllers if there's like anything close to another controller plugged into my PC. So I had to unplug pretty much everything and forgot about that. There we go.
The binging noise means that something is working, and appropriately enough, we've got Christmas Day 2022. Even though that's what,
Indeed.
4 days away. Well, just under 4 days away, give or take.
Yeah, I was going for 24th because that's when we usually, celebrate Christmas. But apparently, the snow season in Project Cars 2 starts on December 25th, so you can't actually have snowy tracks before that. So yeah.
So even though snow could be late November, Project Cars decides to do the stupidest thing ever.
Basically.
Sorry, Project Cars, get it all sorted.
Oh well. So gonna make the rear end a little more loose, since I think this car, if I remember correctly from my PC 2 days, has a tendency to, not rotate as it should. Do I have a gear? Yes, I do. Awesome, let's go! Yeah, that could be better.
Yes. Forget Ken Block and the Hoonishron, the Audi Pikes Peak monstrosity.
Yeah, that's what it's all about right here. Or this, I should say.
Slidey.
Problem is, these things didn't even have a handbrake, so you can't use that to actually make it turn a little bit better.
Maybe a bit of heel and toe might not go amiss.
Of course not. Gotta make good use of the old H shifter.
Yes.
So, over under on number of laps before I actually set a lap time that's not invalid. What do you think?
I'm thinking possibly all the way invalidation just for shits and giggles.
It's the most likely outcome anyway, so yeah, I'm with you on that. Okay, so need to get used a little bit more to the Scandinavian flick action, because then it'll actually rotate, apparently, which is nice.
So Yannick Haustein channeling his inner Stieg Longfist.
Indeed.
Yeah, well at least the good thing is I can spectate for a change, because last night I was at Simply Racing Milton Keynes for a Christmas do, and it was quite a lot of fun.
Sounds like it.
Well, I mean, I was quite happy with myself in the first race. I managed to miss all the carnage. We had the BMW 330iM Sport from the British Touring Cars at Anglesey.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, and it was an interesting car choice, because like we had 10 minutes free practice first of all, and then a 10-minute race. So I started P13.
Oh boy.
I managed to get through all the carnage. You're right there. You've gone for the Joker lap.
Almost.
Yeah, and I think it was like 2 minutes from the end, and there's a particular part of Anglesey, it's 6th gear, 120 miles an hour, and you're going through a right-hand kink, and then it goes up a hill, but then you've got this all of a sudden really, really heavy braking zones. The back end, its arse was, it was like shaking its tail feather. was the Beamer, and then it was the first gear left-hander at 30 miles an hour.
Alright, there we go, invalidation.
Whee! So, this is all about fun, folks. It's not about...
Very much so,
Bye,
as he smacks the
and
barrier.
Yes, that he does indeed. And, yeah, it's quite funny how... Please ignore what's happening in the background. This is the office that sometimes gets disturbed, and I say to people, I am on camera today. So this is just a lot of fun. I got up to P8, and then 2 minutes to go, I've got into that particular part of the circuit I was just talking about.
Alright.
I then got tagged whilst under braking, and I did a 360 Ken block special, which meant that I was pointing the right way, but the car was nose end into the barriers, which Yannick has just managed to hit again.
Sorta, kinda. Come on. I need more rotation under throttle.
I wonder what Walter Röhrl would say in this situation.
Probably nothing. Just shake his head and walk off. Actually saw the guy this year, which was one of my highlights, I'd say.
When was that?
I think in October or September. That was when the Olympia Rally revival came through here, which where he was a participant in. So I got to see him one rather nice morning in front of the Brunswick Castle, where they had this. Well, you can say stage in a way. You know how at these classic events they have to, travel a certain, certain distance in as close as possible to a set time, which was only like 150 meters or something in this case. So they had to match it to 11 seconds as closely as they could, mostly. So really not all about going as fast as you can. And he was there in a Porsche Carrera, so pretty cool stuff.
It's really quite funny that we were hoping to have the man, the legend, Mr. Danny Juice on here. But yeah, as I said, he's on holiday.
So we can't even be mad. Well, that's not how you carousel.
It's how you caro spin.
Almost, yeah. Caro smack the barrier again.
And if in doubt, smack the wall.
Yeah, that's my rally philosophy right there. Or, well, if there aren't any walls, trees, ditches, rocks, whatever tickles your fancy. But yeah, since that was one of the year's highlights for me, at least, why don't we start with the beginning of the year, really, with our little recap excursion, if you will. Anything from early 22 that sticks to your mind still?
I think the first thing was being contacted by Marcel and Danny at Corvana, saying, "You interested?" Well, no. The funny thing is that for people that don't already know that I joined the team here at SIU and at Corvana. That I already had a bit of previous, didn't I, with Sim Racing Expo last year?
Indeed, yeah.
Along with Yusuf bin Sahal, we ended up doing the road
to Sim Racing Expo.
We did a professional trophy.
Exactly.
And then Marcel asked me, "Alex, I need to do the expo this year." So I tell him the dates. And then and then that was that was the first starting point. And then of course SIU posting saying they needed an editorial guy.
Indeed.
So I then contacted Danny, and as they say, the rest is history. That was one of my high points of 2022. Joining the team here.
Yeah, absolutely. Can totally see why, because that's one of the things I look back upon very fondly myself. Not just for the nice support at work, but actually getting to know you as a colleague, and you know, I think it's safe to say as a buddy over the last few months, which is definitely very, very cool. You know, having someone with similar amounts of nerdy motorsport knowledge in the back of their heads as I, or as myself.
Oh, yes.
That's always a good time.
I'm waiting for the Santa hat to start expanding.
Yeah.
As my head starts to try and split the seams on this Santa hat.
I'm actually starting to sweat already. And Maxi says he saw the Olympia rally in Augsburg. Actually, that's nice. So towards the end of the event, I'd assume, because they I think started somewhere in northern Germany and then went basically all the way through.
Oh, okay. So they ended up going through Braunschweig.
Yeah, and Wolfsburg before that made station overnight in the Autostadt, which is kind of cool to visit if you're into cars, should you ever be in the area.
Yes, I can 100% vouch for that because I visited it last year.
Oh, there you go.
So, and then I think the biggest, one of the biggest highlights was, of course, the Expo.
Absolutely, yeah.
It was just really, really cool. So, like, finally getting there to the Messe, and then we're all meeting up, and I'm thinking, this is just so cool.
Whoops.
And then little did we know, you're right there.
I guess so.
So what was your first lap?
9:03, but invalid. So we're shooting for something valid at least.
I'm hoping you're just going to keep it completely sideways, mate.
Yeah, I think now I know a little bit better how I can throw the car into the corners and everything. That could help time-wise, but we shall see.
Oh yeah, definitely. So, yeah, Max was saying, yeah, was there before the start, so could walk by every car.
Neat.
Watch it closely.
Yeah, I've taken tons of photos and videos when I was there. Super cool to see. They had like everything from like super old, well, I say super old, but like 60s rally cars, which were basically just, you know, road-going cars, normal road-going cars you could buy with a roll cage, if you will. But also, like, my personal highlight was a Group B Renault, which was unexpected, but very, very cool.
About the old Renault 5 Turbo with the big old wheel arm.
Yes, indeed.
That still to this day are spun around like a good by Jean Moragnotti.
Yeah, that was a cool car.
Oh yeah, definitely, mate. Definitely. I think one of my favourite cars of all time is the Lancia Delta Integrale.
Yeah, that's a
HS,
nice one as well.
In the early 90s, where you had the likes of Didier Auriol, Juha Kankkunen, who epitomised
Fudge.
fins and yes. Lap time. Your lap time has been invalidated by the race director.
Yeah, the bad guy. Always watching, even though if it's a private test session. What you gonna do? Oops. Okay, I think fourth was better through here. Yeah, for me, it's kind of tough to remember everything from early this year because there was just so much through 22.
Yeah.
I think one of the highlights in the earlier parts was, my visit to Oschersleben, which yielded a nice SRU story about the career of Marcel Marchewitz, which you totally should read if you haven't done so yet. Very nice guy. Very cool story too. Started in real racing, but got a second chance at an actual racing career through sim racing. And is now driving GT4 and GT3 cars for the Schnitzelalm team. So that was super nice. At the same time, our team was at the Retro Classics in Stuttgart. And, you know, did some more promo work for the expo later on, which went really well from what I heard. We had a ton of visitors take part in the Beat the Pro challenge, where they actually had to beat Danny Juice's time in a circa 2005 DTM Mercedes at the Nürburgring, of course.
Oh, yes.
Which I think had, I don't know, over 500, over 900 participants even. I can't remember, but it was a ton, which was good to see. Also, speaking of Danny, he's officially on board since January 1st, 2022, so that's definitely a good memory as well. After having worked with him, you know, sporadically throughout, you know, the second half of 2021.
Yeah, because because a lot of people may know that Danny was originally working with the likes of Out Racing Team, HRT. Funnily enough, is now run by Uli Fritz, former Mercedes-AMG boss of DTM. Had many a wonderful chat with Uli Fritz, and now they're aligned with UOL. Sorry, just plugging in my charge for my phone, so it doesn't die battery. Just in case, I don't want to plug it into the laptop. You're definitely giving it Billy Big Balls on this one. Carousel. Nice. That's the unfortunate thing about it. Yeah, that was better than the how do you carousel moment.
A lot, yeah.
But yeah, I think also Danny not only worked with Haupt Racing Team for the esports side of things, but also Erlebniswelt as well, I think.
Yeah, the Midas Erlebniswerk in Berlin, sorry.
Hey, at least we can both make our German.
True. So you know what I'm talking about, even though if I slip up, which is nice. And happens much more frequently than I would have thought driving this thing, but then again it's a mid-80s turbo beast, so I don't know what I was expecting, to be honest.
Yeah.
And that's not gonna be... And well, there we go. Bit too optimistic.
Optimistic. Yeah, that was unintentional full send there.
Very much so. Not dead!
Oh, mate, no. Ah, and Louisa is also watching.
Hello!
Hola, chico. Hello. Yes, and I have to give Louisa a shout out for the epic presenting job she did on the RCCO World EX last night. It's still available to watch, I believe, on YouTube and Twitch. Yeah, I mean, I think the expo was probably the most tired I've ever been at an event.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, I still remember that was one. I think that's one of the most fun events I've done all year. If I'm honest with you.
Yeah. All things considered, that was very much worth it, of course. I think I've been more tired at the Nürburgring last year, to be honest, but not as mentally drained as this year, I'm pretty sure. Because, you know, we had a bit of a smaller team than last year, so more tasks for everyone involved, but I think we pulled it off pretty nicely.
Yeah, I have to give a shout out to some of the other members of the crew. Steffi, who was along with us.
Indeed.
She was working along with Louisa on the social media. I mean, I got the chance to speak to the legend Mr. Nicky Schiller.
Mm-hmm.
You got the opportunity to speak to the one, the only, Tony Canan.
Indeed.
By Galera.
Which is definitely my late year highlight. No contest even.
But I think the funny thing is that I think we ended up getting the only exclusive.
So
And
far, I
with-
haven't seen anyone else. Yeah.
I did see him make a brief appearance on people's vlogs, so like
Yeah.
Charlie A, Gamer Muscle,
Indeed.
and also, folks, very very soon. Oh, we got a nice little highlights movie coming up very soon, SRE 2022,
Ooh.
which I have seen. Yannick has yet to do so, but
Indeed, but I've heard only good things. How is that invalidated again? God dang it. Due to previous sector. The good old
Right,
invalidation
okay.
system in PC2. How I didn't miss it.
yeah, just got to change my volume a little bit. I don't think many people can hear me, but hang on a second.
Oh, alright.
Right, okay. Well, hopefully that should be a little bit better. You might be able to hear me.
A little bit louder on my end, so should help, yeah.
Okay, well, at least the good thing is, by having streams running, I can check the volume.
Yeah, that's always easier to do if you're not driving, that's true. Ah, come on! Dang it. That's a lot of time lost there. Which doesn't really matter since the lap's been invalidated anyway, but, you know.
Yeah, I mean, well, the funny thing is that when one of the funniest moments of the year, and I know that some people, that there is actually a blooper that took place during the Tony Kanaan interview, which was, I'll tell the story because Yannick, you're busy driving, so
Go ahead.
you're the driver, I'm the storyteller. And it was quite funny how Mr. Tony Kanaan is such a professional, because he was going like, yeah, this is really, really cool, like we had a Logitech G29, and then all of a sudden in the media lounge, one of the catering staff drops a metal tray, and it makes this almighty gong sound, and it stopped Tony dead in his tracks, and went, we'll do that again. And like literally 2 seconds later, bang! He's in there, no problem at all. He's on it like a car bonnet.
Yeah, absolute pro. It's obvious that he's been working with the media for, yeah, the better part of 30 years now, probably.
Yeah, so it just goes to show that you can have someone as a stalwart like Tony Kanaan, and he can do such a great job. Such a great job.
Absolutely. Such a pleasant fella to chat to as well, or chat with, I should say. Anyway, was a really nice talk we had there, and I'm sure we could have gone on for another hour or at least reminiscing about the good old days of badass race cars and everything. But
Yeah.
you know, he's a busy man. So was I at the event, and so we had to leave it at like 20 minutes or something. Which you should give a watch as well. All right, sick.
And you know what? I'm going to do for those watching on the YouTube channel. I'm actually going to put the link in there for you people.
Nice. That's service right there.
Oh, there you go. It's always one of those things.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, apart from that, what else has happened this year in sim racing? There was a ton of stuff, like I mentioned earlier. I think that was this year when Assetto Corsa Competizione finally dropped their American Track Pack DLC, or was that late last year? I can't even remember.
I'm trying to remember now. Yeah, when the American Track Pack came out.
Yeah, I think that was this year sometime. Not entirely sure though.
We've slept a lot since there.
Yeah. But that was certainly one of the highlights as well. Even though I'm still not a friend of CODA, of Circuit of the Americas. That's just not my type of circuit, but on the other hand, we got Watkins Glen, which is badass in any car, so I'll take it.
Oh, yes.
That's always good.
Watkins Glen is a brilliant. But I've also had a personal highlight today.
Okay.
Which, well, I think a lot of the team are already aware of. That I got my professional Facebook profile got tagged because I have just been awarded the 2022 Downforce Radio Award for Commentator of the Year earlier on today.
Which is absolutely stellar and very much deserved, if I say so myself.
Yeah,
so
it's I was in bits when I found that out. I really was.
Yeah, can only imagine. Hello. It's a good thing there's many ambulances around here for the inevitable monster shunt.
Dum.
I'm also not too sure if I can actually do another lap after this one with the amount of fuel I still got. I mean, it's not like this is gonna be an improvement anyway, since I spun and had to do an 11-point turn and stuff like that.
Youch. Oh, the song that's in my head at the moment is "There May Be Trouble Ahead."
Most likely, yeah.
There definitely is when Yannick's behind the wheel. Oh, sorry, did I say that out loud?
I'm trying usually, but sometimes, you know, things just happen. And your brake pedal fails at the end of the camo straight at Spa, so you punt a guy at full speed. Not exactly a highlight of this year, but the clip is at least very funny. Happened at a league race in ACC.
all I can say is highlights of clips on streams. Danny. 9 when he loses the W.
Yeah.
I remember that vividly. And that was brilliant. It's just like the way he just said it.
Yeah, those heat of the moment things are always the best. Unless you know, start cursing at people and everything, but or you say stupid stuff or whatever, but those kind of reactions are always funny.
It's like the standard one that we have with Danny is, yeah, I don't care.
Yeah. Oh, come on! Why would you grip at that point? God damn it. Anyway, let's...
God damn it!
Yeah, let's try that again. Need a little bit more fuel. No,
pit stop.
I don't... Yeah. No pit stop in this case. So, don't need that. A little bit more fuel might help. And also, can I just, you know, have a little bit of a more driftier car?
Well,
possibly?
yeah, well, funny enough, the Audi S1, it was known as the S1. It wasn't known as the S1 or the S2. Because shall I do a little bit of my usual SRU history tour? So the Audi Quattro first competed. It debuted at the Jena Halle in Austria in 1980. So it's based on the road-going models of the, you know, the body shells. So like the Quattro and the Urquattro. If anyone might remember the Urquattro. Funnily enough, the daughter of one Ken Block now has an Urquattro that has been completely done up in her own way, which has about 300 brake horsepower and it's her and it's her daily driver. She's had it
That's
all,
crazy.
like, it's absolutely brilliant. The original cars started with around about 304 PS, which is about 300 brake horsepower. And the legend that is, Michèle Mouton was the first ever female driver to win a WRC rally in a quattro.
True, yeah.
And then what they then did, because it was a turbocharged 2.1 litre. Right, now this is before the 2.3s of the later quattros, like say the TTRS Quattro, the Audi S5. You know, a lot of it was 5-cylinder inline turbocharged engines. I mean, I worked for Audi in the service department for quite a time, and I had the opportunity to drive quite a few nice cars, which I will be honest with you, I did have a little bit of a play with an RS6 Avant. Not the Apt R version though.
As you should have, yeah. Who wouldn't? I mean,
well, I mean, the thing is, as much as I love Apt, sometimes originality is just that little bit better. You know, it's like the real McCoy rather than the enhanced one.
yeah.
But yeah, what then happened was that the Quattro then became the A1 and the A2 evolutions.
Mm-hmm.
So that was when Group B came in. So the turbocharged engine got a hike in power to 355 PS with 350 brake horsepower. And the A1 debuted in '83 at Monte Carlo.
Bonk again.
That kind of reminded me nearly of Latvala bidding the polo at Monte Carlo a few years back. If anyone's seen that video on YouTube, it was like, Latvala! Like literally 720 spin, and it literally... Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Jim Carner Winter Edition.
As
How
you do.
at the Nordschleife.
I mean, the car's a lot more agile now, which I like, but also that doesn't make it any easier to drive, of course.
Oh dear. So yeah, it was Hannu Mikkola that actually won the Audi A1 Quattro. Debuted '83 Monte Carlo, first round of the WRC, and then went on to win Rally Sweden and Portugal in the hands of a certain other flying Finn, Hannu Mikkola.
Ah, yeah. Those Finns are crazy good rally drivers. It's ridiculous, really, if you think about it, how many good rally drivers Finland has produced.
Yeah, but then the A2, which is the evolution of that, would then win a total of 8...
That's what I mean with more agile, but more difficult as well.
It is not going well.
Not really, no.
As I said earlier on, folks, this is more about shits and giggles and laughing at Yannick's expense.
Of course.
But then the A2, the following year, well, the A2 was then released in '83, and from that, it won 3 World Rallies in '83, 5 in '84, and then between '84 and '88, 2 Audi Quattro A1 A2s would then dominate the South African National Rally Championship scene with Sara van der Merwe and George Mortimer. But then the S1, you know, what they had to do was that the Group B car was developed in '84, but still had a 2.1 litre turbocharged inline 5, and then, you know, not just with Group B, but then Pikes Peak. At that point in 1985, she was in the driving seat and set an all-time record for it. But then you had the E2, which was introduced at the end of 1985, and that would be the final Group B cars. And in 1987, a certain Walter Höll, who we've already mentioned, drove the Audi Sport Quattro S1 E2, and this car had 600 brake horsepower.
It's the 80s, man. That was ridiculous.
Yeah, so Alter
Alter Walter.
Alter Walter, meine Güte.
Basically, yeah. Thinking about it, I think there's a good argument to be made that 1986 was the absolute craziest year in motorsports.
Oh.
You know, thinking about the machinery at least. Ooh, interesting barrier. Ooh, another one.
Oh, and a nice 180 with
And-
a J10.
Yeah, and no impact either. What a pro. No, but was thinking about that recently. You had the Group B rally cars you just talked about, which were absolute monsters and outlawed for good reason after that season. You had Group C, basically at its very long height, I would say, because that lasted until, well, 92 was the final season of Group C, I think, but the peak of that was, I think, from like 84, 85-ish to 1990, I'd say, or 91 even. So, very good time. And then, of course, there was the height of the first Formula 1 turbo era with, like, I don't even know how many horsepower this has got. The the dyno wouldn't, read it.
Well,
Kind of power.
sometimes
Yeah.
sometimes in qualifying trim, the Formula 1 cars would have anything up to 1,500 horsepower.
Indeed, yeah. They found that out years later.
Well, they definitely found it out years later when Mark Blundell was in a Nissan GT1 at Le Mans with a buggered wastegate. And,
The R90, I believe, yeah.
well, the R90 was the later variation. I think it was the R300, because we were having that discussion, weren't we?
It was definitely during the first year of chicanes down Mulsanne Straight, so should be easy to find out. Anyway, it was a Group C prototype with a stuck wastegate. That's all you need to know, really.
Well, the car itself was the R90 CK.
Ah, there we go.
Yes.
Probably named so because there was another version meant for IMSA or whatever. As
Likely.
was good, as was in fashion back then. Because like the Porsche 962 was technically called, well, the one everyone always remembers is technically called 962C because of its Group C regulation spec, but there was also another one, which I'm not too sure what the designation was, but that was eligible for IMSA. Slightly different rule sets, but yeah, not too much of a difference.
Yeah, and now we've had the news about blooming IndyCar today, haven't we?
No, I haven't actually seen any IndyCar news today. What's up? What happened there?
Well, we're not going to do a news article because it actually and this is from Greg West. Now this has been this is to do with the IndyCar license with iRacing.
Oh, all right.
The IR18, and this is the verbatim from Greg West from iRacing himself. IndyCar license update. Our current license agreement with IndyCar is set to expire on December 31st, 2022. IndyCar has signed an exclusive license with another developer, not mentioning
Interesting.
any names, that goes into effect as of January 1st next year. Whilst we are still working on finalising a new license with IndyCar, it is clear there will be some notable changes to the way that we represent IndyCar racing on iRacing. Most significantly, we will no longer be able to run an official IndyCar branded series, and there will not be an iRacing Indy 500.
Oh no!
You'll also see the removal of the IndyCar series logos from our sites. We plan to continue to support the Dallara race cars, the IR18, the DW12 and the IR05. There will be no changes, unlimited use and racing, in regard to the non-IndyCar series at IMS, but other series. NASCAR, IMSA, etc. Until the new license agreement is finalised, and we won't know of all the details, so there may be further changes. And I have to give a shout out to Jardier for saying this just now, 9 minutes ago, at this point, as we are live here on SRU. I don't like exclusive licenses at all, only hurts sim racing. Want to hear from you guys and girls out there. Are you a fan of no exclusive licensing or exclusive licensing? I'm gonna put my sim racing hat on and say I'm not for exclusive licensing because it hurts the community.
Yeah, I'd agree. I still remember when Porsche had that thing with EA, and
yes.
Forza Motorsport was very, very keen to add Porsches in all their glory to their roster, which, you know, made sense. They had like tons of great cars in there, but couldn't for years because EA had the license, which then apparently finally changed, I think, with Forza Motorsport 4. So there was a Porsche DLC, and moving forward there were Porsches in Forza ever since. Similar with Ferrari, I believe. So it's definitely good if more developers have access to that, I think, as well, yeah. Although I do have a guess who that exclusive license might have gone to. I'm not sure if I should share it, but...
let's plead the fifth on that one, shall we? Yes.
I plead the fifth.
Yeah, Anna.
There are only so many amendments in the Constitution of the United States of America. It's getting silly again, but seriously, if you've got some time over the holidays, rewatch Chappelle's show. You definitely can't go wrong with that.
Oh, Dave Chappelle, the man, the myth, the legend, the one who gets roasted on The Nutty Professor by Eddie Murphy.
Oh boy, that I haven't seen yet, but that should be a highlight for sure.
Yes. See, folks, again, I'm showing my age. Funny enough, I'm in the same age bracket as Misha.
True.
So, which is not a bad thing. You know, grew up probably watching the same things, even though we were several hundred miles apart.
Yeah, probably.
Different parts of the world.
It's weird how that works, how that kind of connection is there. Just by age. Come on, that's still valid. Yes, it is. Neat.
Oh, right. I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying anything.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna keep on saying I'm not saying anything. and then Yannick will go, "Will you just shut up, man?"
Eventually, I will. Yeah. Especially through the, as a certain Jimmy Broadbent called it at some point, the final part of the Nordschleife after the carousel, the Big Dick Energy section, which isn't. Oh god damn it! Which isn't wrong, I'd say. All those third and fourth gear turns over crests and everything, it's crazy.
Just ask him if he can put a wang on this. No. I think also one of the other highlights was actually because there's been quite a few charity streams over the course of the last 12 months, and I got a message from Jimmy, and I have to give him credit for credit, you know, credit where credit's due. He said, "Mate, it's a voluntary," and I was like, "I just want to be involved. I just want to be involved." And between, there was myself, there was Mike, there was Daniel, and there was Jack, who were, well, the latter three were doing broadcasting. There was myself, a good friend Adam Weller, we had Ash Vanderlei, the young lady from the US, who's got a big old fan base on Twitch, and it was her first ever time doing commentary, and she really, really enjoyed it, which was great. We also had a couple of other people as well. I think we had Rob Lomas and Chris Buxton.
Ooh.
And the good thing was, at the end of it, I mean, it was the 4th time that Jimmy had done this kind of charity event where it was. Excuse me.
No worries, it's getting dark here already, so.
No. You can tell it was a late night last night. Christmas party.
Yeah, that probably didn't help either. True. Ah, come on! I need to get this turn better next time round.
Oh, we also have to say a big thank you to Sim Racing GP for helping with this year's professional trophy. Steve and Dan. Hello, boys.
Hello. Yes, very pleasant working with these guys. So many fun Tuesday afternoon calls with them. And always good to see them in person at the end of the year then.
And share a few drinks at the exhibitor party that we had.
Nah, who would do that? Yeah, true. In the shadow of the actual Dutzendteichkehre at the Nürburgring.
Yeah.
Walking distance, not even 5 minutes.
Yeah. And then someone decided to walk home, or walk to the hotel, didn't they?
Yeah, I mean, I heard of people that do that, but why would they? Oh, that's right, because they would walk right across the Nürburgring at night, which is dope, and you should do if you ever get the chance.
Yeah, exactly.
It seems like I don't know, it's a weird atmosphere, but in a good way, you know? It seems like the track has been abandoned since, like, I don't know, the 70s or something. Because the huge Steintribünen that date back to the 30s or 40s, I can't quite remember. Of course they look old by now. And then there's like Armco and catch fencing everywhere, which they just leave up apparently for the entire year. And it kind of has that charm of, I don't know, and not quite as old Rem Gueux or something like that. It's pretty cool to see.
So every single lap that you've done so far has been invalidated, yes?
Yes, indeed.
So my prediction is more than likely coming true, folks.
We shall see.
The fact yes, that we shall. There's still to be 220 kilometers an hour down the Döttinger Höhe. And yes, I did get the pronunciation correct, folks.
Indeed.
Don't forget about the umlauts.
Yes, those 2 dots are not just for decoration. It's actually not an O, but an Ö.
Yes, you heard it here first.
You remember that noise people make when they puke? That is basically an
Yeah.
You know, easy to remember that way.
Yeah. So...
Okay, 8:49. That's technically a new personal best if it was valid.
Okay, well... Okay, I'm going to say 3 words. Sod the invalidation. Just see how fast you can go.
Alright. I mean,
That'll make it a bit more fun.
I'll try and keep that up, but eventually I think there's going to be a lap where I just take shortcuts where I can. I mean, this car is meant to do off-roading, so...
You'll be doing your best Andreas Baccarat impersonation using the Joker lap to good effect.
Basically. Ah, that was a lot smoother than before. Me too. I really need to get myself a handbrake. Not that this car had one, but, you know, to do rallying a little more often. It's so much fun.
Hoistingfeld, hook my boy up, please.
If you're watching, hello. Or rather, goedendag. The few bits of Dutch I still remember from taking the Duolingo course.
Yep. Whereas all my German speaking has been done in real life. The side of things, actual conversations. And folks, there is plenty, just to give you all a heads up, Monday, Wednesdays and Fridays all the way through past Christmas, past New Year, right up until the end of January. We've managed to get all the panel talks and all the little bits and pieces all sorted out for you folks to watch in little bite-sized chunks. So rather than having to scroll through all 4 days on the ADAC Sim Racing Expo channel, we've got everything coming up. Funnily enough, our last post before the Christmas holidays, well, we've got one going out tonight at 7 PM Central European time, and then we've also got another one going out this coming Friday.
We do, yeah, good stuff. That's in there. Also, you can pick and choose if there's a topic or certain guests that you're not that interested in or that you have already watched. You can just, you know, easily switch to another video, catch up on that, have a good time, hopefully, or remember the atmosphere in Nuremberg if you were there.
And there was plenty of atmosphere. Yes, there was.
Indeed. You can hear engine noises basically throughout the entire stage program, so whether that was the D-Box Motion Zone or Ace Tech firing up their Ligier LMP3. Saved it. There was something there for the audio files at all times, I think.
Especially Corby going, oh, that's a bit late on the brakes. I thought you sounded like a Welshman all of a sudden.
It's late on the brakes. I'm sorry.
And it's a love tap.
Sorry, I'm terrible with some accents. Better with others.
It's just the way that the octaves of his voice went up. And I thought, hang on, he's either gone from Germany to Ireland or he's become a Welshman.
Who knows?
Like the way he said, late on the brakes. And I was like, hang on, that sounds like Cardiff to me.
Yeah, it's always fun to listen to people from different regions of the UK. Right now, we're pretty religiously watching the World Cup of Darts. No, it's the World Championship. That's another event. And of course, you have like all sorts of Englishmen and Scotsmen and is it Welshman even a word?
Yes, Welshman.
Participants from Wales. So those post-match those post-match interviews are always super fun to listen to, just because you barely can understand some of them. Others are better.
Well, boy, I thought I was going for the treble 20, but unfortunately I'm just getting hit double top instead.
Yeah, Gary Anderson's one of these guys. Very thick Scottish accent. I love it though.
Yeah, so more mehr Aktion im Hintergrund von mir. That's the problem with well, I might have to, you know what I'm going to do?
What's that?
Let's see. I'm going to blur my background.
Ooh, boy.
And there we go. Might help a little bit. There we go. So you'll not see any chairs in it very shortly.
Is your house haunted by any chance?
No. No. It's not that.
By the Christmas spirit, of course.
No, it's by the amount of people.
Makes sense, eh?
Yeah. Yeah, it's always the way. So there we go.
3/4 of a lap done, and then he'll stacks it. Fudge. Fudge. That would be nice now.
Oh, now the doorbell goes. Never a dull moment in this household.
Always entertaining. Tell you what, those setup changes made this thing much better. Like, handle actually like a rally car. I think the stock setup was basically meant for this thing to work well on a track, but not in rally conditions.
Does look pretty good though. Pretty good.
It does, yeah. Can't wait to hopefully see that in AMS2 at some point. You know, same engine, so They might as well implement snow at some point. That would be fun.
Yes. You know what would be even more fun?
What's that?
Danny bloody being here.
True.
Grinch has to do the first SIU stream of 2023. You can't get out of that one.
Yeah, also, sponsor a creative beer. That's always what happens in Germany if you miss something or whatever.
Don't answer your phone. Pick up this in future, Danny, when somebody calls you.
Close. Yeah, but that would be a lot more fun, I think. But anyway, we still love you, Danny. See you soon.
Love you, darling.
Okay, so 7:45-ish. Maybe I can move that HUD element towards the bottom when I need to refuel next time, so you can actually see what the timer says.
Yeah, and the camera shot of me is actually taking away how much of the information there is of the RPMs, the gears, and the speed.
Oh, dang it. It's always something.
Well, you know what you might have to do then?
What's
just
that?
to be on the safe side. Put me at the top right underneath the banner, SIU. Thereby you've then got the telemetry being shown to everybody.
That
So
might
throttle,
work, yeah.
brake. You see, even this is a trial and error because there's going to be more streams coming in 2023 here at SIU, and hopefully some streams where we can all actually be in the same place at the same time. Hopefully at the head office.
Oh yeah, that should be a ton more fun too. See what crazy scenarios we can come up with. Or cool ones. All possible.
Oh yes.
Okay, so that was an 8:42, so another 7-ish seconds. This thing is so much about throttle control as well. It's like if it doesn't turn, just give it the boot even more so it actually does start to turn. Really need to get used to that.
In other words, if in doubt, give it the berries.
Indeed. Or as a certain Scotty McLaughlin would say, gave her some jandal and fuck yeah. Kiwis are something, man.
I still remember when he dropped it and then he just realised, and I thought, oh, that's a great brand for Jerry Rogers Motorsport and Volvo.
Yeah, definitely. But I think that made that that finish even more legendary. So I'd say it worked out for him. You know, one of the Penske drivers in IndyCar now.
I still remember when Scafey went, yeah, and he puts one on the champ. Yeah. Rendezvous. Scotty McLaughlin.
That last lap, though, that was something. One of the best battles in racing you're ever gonna see, I'm pretty sure. Or you're ever gonna see, sorry.
Well, considering the fact that McLaughlin was nearly in the fence.
Yeah.
So, yeah, please excuse me, folks, while I was just having my drink. It's got to be done.
Oh, so you do have that drink.
Yes. Yes, Kimmy, you do have the drink, and it's a Coca-Cola. Can I get the Magnum with that?
I'm sure he'd appreciate that, yeah.
Oh, he definitely would. He definitely would.
What a guy. Just hope the rumors of him trying IndyCar at some point for the ovals would be true. That would be nice. Because he's done NASCAR in the past, but never ovals in an open wheeler. That'd be interesting to see.
Yeah.
This is probably as active as I've ever been on these pedals, man.
How's the shifter working?
Pretty well. Can't really complain at all, to be honest. Only thing I'm gonna switch is, you know, a higher quality shifter knob. So it feels a little bit better, but apart from that, I mean, can't really beat it for the money, I'd say. In case you're wondering what I'm talking about, it's the SHH Newt 2, which I've recently reviewed as well, so if you haven't read that yet, please check that out if you're in the market for a new shifter.
Yeah, which you can see the review on Sim Racing Unlimited. Aha.
Indeed. On the website, that is. So, simracing-unlimited.com or hyphen, I think. You know the drill.
Yeah, and
Whoops.
don't forget... Yeah, oh, whoops. Whoopsie daisy.
Still alright, though. See what I mean? More throttle made that turn possible.
Yeah, you know what's really, really funny? I'm actually... I'm not ignoring Yannick. I'm actually listening... getting, like, the amount of people that have congratulated me on this Downforce Radio Award of the Year for the commentary. I mean, like, literally the amount of... Like, I spammed it on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn. And... yeah, my good buddy Chris McCarthy. But many people that watch Virtual Le Mans will know of him because he's one of the commentators. And yeah, managed to catch up with him at the Christmas do I was at, and yeah, he'd had a few drinks last night, bless him. So I took him literally within about 5 minutes of his house, which he really appreciated. And it just goes to show that. Commentators might compete against each other for different bits of work, but we are still friends at the end of the day. And yeah, good thing was it was on the way back home for me, so I can't really grumble at all. But yeah, I think it's just oh, that fuel light. Don't run out, Yannick.
It's gonna be fine.
Damn you.
Just, I think, but should be fine.
You'll be coming into the pit lane go, fuck, I should have filled up more than that.
Oh, come on, that's not invalid. Bullshit. How? Sorry for the language, but that right there is the definition of bullshit.
Right. All I'm going to say to you, Yannick Haustein, is that this is a stream. Whatever happens on stream stays on stream. So don't worry.
Let's hope so.
You're just giving your black book of excuses a good workout at the moment.
Yeah, that's for sure. Man, that sucks. That lap was good so far.
Folks, I did say, because Yannick asked me, what did you ask me? How many laps do you think we're going to get clean? And I said, I think every single lap is going to be invalidated. So far, what are we on? Lap 4 or lap however many?
I don't know. I've restarted it twice, I believe, so probably lap 10 or something. Well, no, that couldn't be, because then we would have been streaming for like 2 hours already.
Well, the stream's been going for about an hour and a quarter. I think after you go in, I think we're probably going to have to close it up anyway, because I've got quite a few other things to do anyhow. But yeah, I think, well, we firstly have to thank all of you people for being with us all the way through the year.
Absolutely.
Without you guys and girls in the sim racing community, you know, who are so passionate, so motivated, so driven. The only thing that I'm wishing for Christmas is hopefully for someone to hook me up with a complete sim rig setup, and that would be a nice little stocking filler. I don't know how big the stocking would be though.
Well, that's up for debate, but if anyone is watching and can do so, you heard the man. I
Yeah.
want him on track with me next year sometime. That would be awesome.
Well, I think we're definitely going to have to set it up where we're at HQ and we've got some sim rigs. We're going to have a little bit of a play and have a lot of fun whilst broadcasting it live. So
yeah.
Danny, make it happen.
All right.
Yeah.
8:36. That would have been a good lap. Man, that's annoying.
Yeah. But I think, we have to say a lot of thanks to the team behind the scenes, of course, our parent company, Corvana, with Micha Nadi Vamsa steering the ship, Alex Kais, Danny, Vincent, Marcel, Louisa, even us two unlikely lads on the stream that you've been watching for the last nearly an hour and 20. I think there's so many people behind the scenes and they all know who they are. So on behalf of from myself and Yannick, it's just a big thank you to everyone in the community for helping to spread our word. The people that we've met and all that kind of stuff. It's been fantastic, really, more than anything. And I have to say, I'm looking forward to 2023. There will be news at some point in the not too distant future about the 2023 Sim Racing Expo, such as dates, location. I think the Nürburgring mess is a pretty good fit, would you say, mate?
Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot, and so did many other people, I think. So, might as well.
I don't think Danny's feet enjoyed it after 116 kilometers worth of walking.
Yeah, well, it's gonna be tough to find a venue where walking that distance is gonna be a pleasure, I think.
Yeah, he just needs to get the right footwear. So if there's any footwear companies, like maybe say Adidas with Ultra Boost, come on.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
It's not too far from Nuremberg anyway, there at headquarters, isn't it?
Yeah, Herzogenaurach is not too far away at all. And you see, I said that without even blinking.
There you go.
Without even blinking. And I said it correctly.
That's gotta be a very tough city name to pronounce for anyone who's not, or for English native speakers at least. Herzogenaurach.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just one of those things. But I think really for me, this is my last stream of 2022. Yannick, it's been a pleasure working alongside you, buddy.
You too.
To what next year brings. So I'm going to shoot off now, guys and girls. So, frohes Fest and ein guten rutschen Neujahr, ne?
Yeah, you nailed it. So, from my side as well, it's been an immense pleasure, not just with the community, but also with you, ever since you came in the summer. Looking forward to more. I think we can do a lot of cool stuff together, and that's something to get excited about, not just for us, but for all of you guys out there as well. Yeah, we shall see when we got the first bit of exciting news to share. But it's gonna be good, I'm sure. Just like this lap, hopefully. I don't know.
Well, I'll leave you to it, mate. You want to try and get that invalidation sorted out for this one.
Well, there we go. That's it. Anyway. Well then, yeah. As you said, it's time to wrap this up.
As much as it's been a lot of fun.
Yes, very much so. Yeah, well, 8:34 I think was the final one that didn't count, unfortunately, but it's a good benchmark. So if you want to, try it for yourselves, feel free. Let us know your times. Maybe include a video even. That would be fun. And yeah, who knows if we've got if we get a new challenge on our hand for next year then.
Indeed. So that's it from us, folks, here on Sim Racing Unlimited. Wishing you all a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Have a safe and very, very happy holiday season, and we'll see you here on the streams in 2023. So it's goodbye from me. It's goodbye from Yannick. See you next time.
See ya. Bye.